What's up, guys? Just wanted to come to you and give you my pull list for this week and maybe talk a little bit about Batman's wedding. Alright, so first in the new line of heroes from DC, we've got the new challengers. So that's really cool. I've been excited about this since they hinted it in the Terrifics. So I'm hoping maybe if it's as good as the Terrifics, it's going to be real good. So we'll see. I'm excited about this. We'll see. I don't know much about them, but they look pretty cool. It'll kind of probably feel like another version of the Fantastic Four, which is awesome. So, and then I got Damage number 5. So I've enjoyed Damage. He's been really fun. I think one of my favorite parts about him is that he tends to fight heroes and villains from the DC universe that are already established. I think that's really cool, and it's just been fun and lighthearted. And he's kind of like a DC's version of the Hulk, since we haven't really gotten a good Hulk in a while. So I'm hoping it's really good. I've enjoyed him so far. I'm excited about that. It should be the second half of the Poison Ivy thing. All right, moving into my real excitement stuff. Green Lanterns. Look at that cover. That is beautiful. Whoever's been drawing these, bravo. So I'm excited about this one. I love the Green Lanterns. Simon Biles, Jessica Cruz are just amazing together. And yeah, so Brandon Peterson was the variant artist. He does beautiful work. That's just really great. So I'm excited about that. I'll be reading that soon. I think I'm one behind, so still gotta catch up, but because I got a big list of comic books to read. Alright, super excited about this one. Justice League No Justice. Alright, so this one is part 2 of 4, and part 1 was just stellar. And I'm excited because look at all the heroes in this. You can kind of see that's exciting. So stoked about that. It'll be pretty cool. Yeah, so the first one was really good. And we have Brainiac showing up and trying to save his planet by bringing random people from Earth to go help. And actually just read one of the last issues of Teen Titans, and at the very end you kind of see Brainiac show up with his bots and collect them. So I was like, maybe I should have read that before, but oh well. So I'm excited about that. I've really enjoyed that. I love that Beast Boy and Starfire and Cyborg are on there because I love those characters. I think Raven might be in there too. So that's really cool. I don't know why Nightwing isn't there too, but that's not my decision. It'd be cool if Tim Drake had been in there as well, but whatever. Alright. Superman special. We got another issue from Tomasi Gleason. I thought the last one was the last, but we got another one. And I'm super stoked about this. They're going to be in the planet with all the dinosaurs. So, Dinosaur Island. So it's a wonderful way to say goodbye, giving us another issue of Superman with Gleason and Tomasi. So I hate to see them go. And is it in here? I think it's in this one. As we've all seen for the last several months, Bendis is coming. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. I'm not too stoked about Bendis, but prove me wrong, Bendis. Write good stuff, and I'll be excited. So we'll see. We'll see. I read his Superman bit out of what's it called, the DC Nation issue 0, and it's boring. I was like, I hope this isn't what's to come, because they brought Bendis here just to be really boring. That's going to be really sad, especially since Tomasi and Gleason have really nailed Superman. So that's gonna be sad. I'm gonna be a little sad about that. But as Tomasi Gleason said in issue 45, change is not always a bad thing, and change has to happen. So it, might as well be accepting of it and hope for the best. So prove me wrong, Bendis. Prove me wrong, DC. All right. Lastly, we're invited to the wedding of Selena Kyle and Bruce Wayne, July 4th. We'll see. We'll see if DC can keep up with that schedule, because they never keep up with their schedule. Action Comics got pushed back, or 1000. We had, what else has been pushed back? The Watchmen, Doomsday Clock, that was been pushed back, and everything gets pushed back with DC. They have like the opposite problem as Marvel. My comic book guy was talking about this today. DC just spreads everything out, and of course Marvel hears that DC's got a wedding and it's selling somewhat well, and so they're like, oh, let's throw together our own wedding. So they have a wedding now with Kitty Pryde and oh man, what's his name, the metal dude. I should know this. I'm really sad that I don't know this. Colossus. Bam, there we go. I really like Kitty Pryde. She's one of my favorite X-Men. So I'm excited about that, because I think those two work really well together. I liked them in the X-Men movies. I just couldn't think of his name, which is sad. So that'll be exciting. I'm not really reading them because Marvel has been awful of late. As you've seen, like, all of my comic books are DC. But anyway, so we've got like a list of stuff that's coming out, so I'll probably be getting those, just to see. They got Catwoman #1. Like, who wants to read a book about Catwoman? Like, whatever. I'm sure there's an audience for her. I'm not one of them. I've never really cared for Catwoman, and I think I'll talk about that in my next video when I talk about villains. But this one, this is cool. It's by Please Let Alfred Pennyworth Know. I think that's really cool. By June 1st. So yeah, that's really cool. And then you've got of course, the date in here, July 4th. So Independence Day. That'll be cool. I think I'm in the country that week, so that's sweet, and not on a mission trip or whatnot. But anyways, so that'll be cool. If you haven't got one, go to your comic store. I'm sure you can get invited too. So, and lastly, with that, Batman #47 says, "For my parents to live, I must kill Booster Gold." No, I love Booster Gold. And the only reason I've been reading these is because of Booster Gold. And if you haven't read it, I'm gonna give you a spoiler here. I don't know how much you care. Booster Gold went back in time and saved Batman's parents, so that he could give Batman his wedding present was the chance to live with his parents for his life. And it all went out of control, because everything that Booster Gold touches goes out of control. And so, like, Dick Grayson becomes Batman, which I thought was dumb, because I don't think, well, they've got the idea right. So without Batman, Dick Grayson would kind of go off the rails and become a vigilante anti-hero. They got that. They nailed that right. But he wouldn't be Batman, because there is no Batman without Bruce Wayne. Unless you're in the Flashpoint Paradox, which has a similar idea. It's his dad. So we'll give it to them for that. But without Bruce Wayne, there's no Batman. So Dick Grayson would never be Batman, but he would be a vigilante anti-hero that kills people. That was spot on, and that was awesome. I just criticized the fact that they made him Batman, because he wouldn't have been Batman at all. He wouldn't have been Nightwing or Robin. He would have been something else. They should have come up with something that would have been good, but I saw what they were trying to do. But anyways, so Batman ends up killing Bruce Wayne's parents, and then Bruce Wayne kills Batman, and then Bruce Wayne now wants to kill Booster Gold, because he got his parents killed, and so Booster Gold's trying to convince him to give up his family so that he can, go back in time and have the wedding and have everything fixed. So crazy. I love Booster Gold. He's so funny. But leads me to my main point. I don't think that Bruce Wayne would ever marry Catwoman. And the reason why is she's a villain. And I know that people try to portray her as an anti-hero, so she's more heroic, but she also tends to steal. And I'm like, no, it's not Catwoman. She likes stealing. That's her thing. Her character's purpose is a temptation for Batman. Not for him to ultimately end up with Batman, a temptation for Batman. And her and Poison Ivy both. They are Batman's temptations. Because they're meant to be beautiful women who are villains, that are evil, that Batman is tempted to break his morals, his morality, to be with. And if you don't get that right, then you don't get Catwoman right. And nobody ever gets the characters correct anymore. That's just our culture. People don't really look into characters as why people like them. They're like, oh, I've always liked the flirtiness between Batman and Catwoman. We should get them married. Well, no, because that's not why Batman and Catwoman have like the flirtatious attitude. Her character is to be a romantic interest for him, not for him to go anywhere with, because ultimately Batman would not get with a villain. So it's like ultimately he might be tempted to kill the Joker, but he would never kill the Joker. As much as I love what's it called? Oh, what's that book called? There's a story where the Joker escapes and shoots Barbara Gordon and kills, doesn't kill him, but kidnaps her and her father, Jim Gordon. And in the end, spoiler alert, Batman kills the Joker, snaps his neck. The final joke or something. I have it. I should remember these things, but I'm blanking tonight for some reason. Anyways, Batman ultimately kills the Joker. It's meant to be the last Joker story, and it is beautiful. It's really well written. But in an ultimate sense, it should never be canon because Batman would never kill the Joker. That's just not who Batman is. And so every time Batman, personally, I think it's a flaw of Batman, is that he doesn't kill his villains. But perhaps a better way is that if the state killed the villains, because I am for capital punishment. The problem is when you have these guys, they break out over and over and over and over and over and over again, and then they kill hundreds of people, and then we throw them back in prison, hoping to reform them or whatnot. And then they break out again, and then they kill hundreds of people, and this awful cycle over and over and over again. And it's just like, they need to be killed. Otherwise, you're devaluing life itself. The reason for I didn't mean to go into capital punishment in this video. The reason we have on capital punishment is because it elevates the value of life. If taking away a life equals your own life, a life for a life, as the Bible says, then that keeps life as precious, even unborn life, which is why the Bible makes an example for that, and why our law makes an example for that, because even unborn life is life. human life. And so life is precious. But if Batman doesn't kill his villains, well, and I don't think Batman should kill his villains. It should be the will of the people, because uh, I'm a libertarian. It's the government's job, not vigilantes' job. So I think it's good for them not to kill villains. But if the state doesn't do its job and protect its citizens by putting those people who are mass murderers to death, that's where the problem comes in. Because in the superhero world, where people are ultimately powerful and they can break out and do it again, then you're going to have them killing thousands, tens of thousands, millions of people, and they're allowed to live and then escape later on, because you know that the Joker's always going to escape and kill more people. But anyways, that was a rant, and I really wanted to get onto the wedding. Batman would never marry Catwoman. Why? Because she's a villain. She would have to completely reform, promise never to steal again, which Catwoman's not going to do, because Catwoman is not that kind of character. She doesn't want to change. She loves what she does. She loves stealing. She loves making money. She's just a regular old crook, thief. And the only interesting thing about Catwoman is her romantic appeal to Batman. It makes him want to break his morality to have a relationship with her, a romantic relationship with her. And so he has to weigh, do I give up my morality and let her escape so that I can have a romantic interest, or do I uphold my morality and the justice and law and put her in prison? And he always goes with justice, because Batman always chooses the moral thing to do. That's how it is. But if you take away the fact that she's a crook, so if she reforms, she no longer is an interesting character. She's just some person at Batman's side, some woman at Batman's side. She's no longer interesting unless you completely change the character, and then she wouldn't be Catwoman anymore. A better person for Batman to marry is Wonder Woman. It's the best. Some people are like, oh, well, Superman and Wonder Woman? No. Superman has Lois Lane. He always will. He will never marry anybody else as long as Lois Lane's alive. Simple as that. Batman, though, since he can't marry Catwoman because she's a villain, could marry Wonder Woman. And if you've seen the Justice League cartoon, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Their back and forth relationship is wonderful. And they're kind of like a brother and sister now. Anyways, they're really, really close. They're two heads of the Trinity, and they're super close. And I was talking this to my youth at church tonight, and I was like, well, you know, Batman, the problem, well, other than Batman being a loner kind of character, the problem with him is that he needs a woman who can take care of herself. Because if anyone ever found out he was Bruce Wayne, or that he was interested and married to somebody, then she becomes a target to get at him, and he sees that as a weakness, which is why he would probably never marry in general. More or less Catwoman, a villain. I'm a little biased. But Wonder Woman can take care of herself. In fact, she's more powerful and easier. It's easier for her to survive than it is for him. So, but he's Batman, so of course he's going to survive. But so she's perfect, because it's going to take a whole lot to take her out of the picture and to use her against him. And so, bam. Besides the fact that those two are perfect for each other, there was an issue of Batman where they go to this, where it's just Batman and Wonder Woman. They go to this Savage Land or something like that. And they switch places with this character, and they live like decades in this other world. And it's really cool. It's really cool. They He sort of cheats on Catwoman, but not really. Um, there's definitely an emotional connection between Batman and Catwoman. I mean, Batman and Wonder Woman there, but since Tom King wants to marry Catwoman and Batman, that's what's going to happen, and they can't be together. I'm just like, ugh. But comic books. I'm sure in the next reboot, it'll be undone, and all the people who hated it will be happy, and all the people who loved it will be unhappy. And yay, comic books! So, anyways, that's who I think Batman should be with, Wonder Woman. If you doubt me, go watch Justice League cartoon show. Amazing. It's one of the best cartoons ever made. But those two work together beautifully. Beautifully. They're one of my favorites, and I know this is getting really long. One of my favorite episodes. They all get transformed into kids, and they're all like little teenagers running around, and it becomes a little bit more obvious that they like each other. And Wonder Woman's always like, "Oh, I'll go with Batman, and you two go over there," and it's so cute. It's so funny. Um, anyways, they have some other things where you think that something's going to happen with them, but Batman will never make a move because he's a loner, and I hate that. But you know, maybe one day we can get that. DC, that's what I want. I want Batman and Wonder Woman to get married. That would be amazing. So, anyways, let me know what you think. Do you like Batman and Catwoman together? Do you not? Do you agree with what I said about Catwoman being a villain and her fundamentally not working if she ceases being a villain? Do you agree with me? Do you like Batman and Wonder Woman? So, let me know in the comments. I hope y'all have a great day. Peace out.